The Wilfried Nancy wait continues, and fans are getting nervous. Martin O'Neill is staying on even longer than expected, and there are serious doubts about whether the board will actually back Nancy in January. Plus, Liam Scales showed incredible honesty after that controversial penalty, and Chris Sutton has praised Celtic's gritty win at Easter Road. Let's get into it, but first make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic's managerial transition has taken on a life of its own, and few observers have captured the nuance of the situation as sharply as journalist Stephen McGowan. As Martin O'Neill's interim spell continues to deliver results that nobody expected, Wilfried Nancy remains poised in the background, waiting for paperwork to clear before officially taking charge. Between the momentum on the pitch and uncertainty off it, tension around the decision has grown with every passing day. Supporters have gradually warmed to the idea of Nancy as the long-term successor, but O'Neill's revival has complicated what originally looked like a straightforward transition. With 6 wins from 7 and a Europa League victory away to Feyenoord, the 73-year-old has not only stabilised Celtic, he has made them look like a team reborn. Naturally, supporters are now asking whether changing manager at this moment is a risk rather than a necessity. McGowan's analysis cuts right into that sentiment. He outlines why many fans are conflicted, why Celtic are persisting with Nancy regardless, and what this means for the club heading into January. His comments also highlight a wider concern. The longer the delay, the more nervous supporters become about another Eddie Howe situation unfolding. With Celtic entering a crucial period, a title race tightening at the top, European progression still possible, and the League Cup final just weeks away, McGowan's perspective lands at a time when every detail matters. He said, "I think people had resigned themselves and got used to the idea of Wilfried Nancy coming in. I've been saying for long enough that they need new ideas, they need new impetus. The club seems a bit stale, so they're going to get that. I think what's put the slight seed of doubt into fans' minds is just how much things have improved under Martin O'Neill. They're winning that away game in Feyenoord and so on, and he's a manager who has a lot of affection in the minds of the fans anyway." Now for the main story, as the French coach is still reportedly working through the necessary visa requirements before he can take up the post in Glasgow. While Celtic were confident the matter would be resolved quickly, O'Neill must now prepare the team for Dundee at Celtic Park, adding yet another chapter to a caretaker spell that has already delivered stability, results, and renewed energy inside the camp. The hold-up has inevitably fueled speculation, but what is known is that bringing a manager from outside the UK involves a far more complex application process than many supporters might realise. With Dundee visiting on Wednesday and the fixture calendar showing no mercy, O'Neill's extended stint gives Celtic short-term continuity at a crucial moment. Nancy will arrive when the paperwork clears, but until then the team remains in the hands of a manager who has already made his mark on a pivotal stretch of the season. Many within Celtic had originally believed the Hibs game would be O'Neill's final outing before stepping aside. Instead, the experienced coach will lead the team again for the visit of Dundee to Celtic Park. It keeps an unexpected continuity in place for the squad, who have been adjusting match by match to the temporary setup. Given the volume of fixtures and the physical strain shown in recent performances, the timing of managerial clarity has become increasingly important, making today's update more notable than it might otherwise have been. What was widely expected to be O'Neill's final game in charge at Easter Road has now turned into an extended spell, with paperwork delaying Wilfried Nancy's arrival. The news arrives at a delicate moment for Celtic, coming immediately after another high-stress away victory in what has been an intense run of fixtures. O'Neill, who returned to oversee the squad during the transition, has already taken charge of several crucial matches, guiding the team through a demanding period. O'Neill himself had indicated earlier that he expected Sunday's match to be his last, only to be informed shortly before kick-off that he may need to stay on a little longer. In other news, the January transfer window is now just weeks away, and there's a lot of work needing done. This Celtic side have upped their form under Martin O'Neill and are showing confidence that was clearly lacking during Brendan Rodgers' tenure. O'Neill has a perfect domestic record since returning as interim boss, most recently a hard-fought 2-1 win against Hibs in the capital on Sunday afternoon. Quick-fire goals from Dyson Maeda and Arne Engels cut the gap on league leaders' hearts to just 2 points, with the Hoops also having a game in hand. What was apparent in the win at Easter Road was O'Neill's team selection, having only started one summer signing, loanee Marcelo Saracchi. The Uruguayan left-back put in a shift, even hitting the post late in the first half when they were 2-0 up. It's clear to see that, while the Scottish champions have found form, quality is still needed. Speaking on the press box, Stephen McGowan shared his views on the Hoops squad, Celtic need to get cracking in the January window. That squad is not of an adequate standard for me. It's imbalanced. It's weak in key positions on the right side of attack, obviously. Luke McCowan played at Easter Road, centre forward with Dyson Maida, who clearly wants to try his luck somewhere else and have one last move. You have a situation where midfielders look better recently, but it could still do with a bit of cover, a decent cover at right back for my money. It was notable that the team selection saw summer signings Sebastian Tunekti and Benjamin Negrin start from the bench, while Yang and McCowan joined Maida in attack. O'Neill clearly sticking to his guns after that landmark win over Feyenoord. McGowan continued, centre half is still weak. Celtic could do with a midfield enforcer. There's all kind of areas that need improvement. They need to get cracking. I think that should be done by somebody who plans, in theory at least, to stick around for the next 3 years. It shouldn't be a sticking plaster. In other news, yet, in the middle of the debate, Liam Scales' reaction after the match cut through the noise. Rather than criticise the officials or question the framework behind the decision, the defender stood up and gave an honest assessment of what happened. His comments offered a level-headed take, even if those watching from the outside felt Celtic had once again fallen victim to an interpretation of the handball law that leaves little room for common sense. He said, "Yeah, I'm not going to complain. I think my hand's probably up. It just comes through a lot of bodies, and I just wasn't anticipating it coming to me, you know? I'd have to watch it back, but at the time, I thought that it was going to go to VAR and would probably be a penalty. Yeah, 100% you don't know if it's going to go for or against you, but for me, I thought it was going to go to VAR and be a penalty." The incident unfolded quickly inside a crowded penalty area. A cross ricocheted through several bodies before striking Scales, who appeared to lose the flight of the ball. Walsh initially allowed play to continue, only for VAR to intervene and recommend an on-field review. After watching the slow-motion replays, Walsh pointed to the spot, allowing Hibs to convert and breathe life into the final stages of the match. While the goal ultimately didn't change the result, it shifted the momentum and raised questions over the consistency of such calls. The frustration from a Celtic point of view stems from the nature of the contact. Scales was not attempting to make a challenge or enlarge his frame. He was reacting instinctively in a packed box, unable to expect the ball to reach him. The decision's impact on the match was clear. Celtic's control weakened as Hibs gained belief, and the closing stages were far tenser than they needed to be. It did not cost Celtic the points, but it did shift the dynamic of the game and force the team to dig deeper than required. Lastly, Celtic's win at Easter Road capped off a sequence of matches that tested every aspect of their game. They started with composure, seized control early, and then had to withstand late pressure as Hibs threw everything forward. While the team lacked fluency in parts, their work rate and organisation carried them through the rough spells. With hearts slipping, Celtic's 3 away wins couldn't have come at a better time. The gap at the top is smaller, and there's a bit of momentum behind them again. O'Neill's influence, as Sutton pointed out, has helped Celtic stay on track during a spell that could easily have gone wrong. The next test is keeping that same resilience while finding a bit more quality as the fixtures keep coming. Quick-fire goals from Dyson Maida in the 27th minute and Arne Engels just a minute later in the 28th minute gave Celtic a commanding 2-0 lead before half-time. So what do you think about this Nancy delay? Are you getting worried it might turn into another Eddie Howe situation, or do you trust it's just paperwork? And more importantly, do you actually trust the board to back Nancy properly in January after what McGowan said? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.